Utah sends Baylor to a new low point of this decade.
You are Locked On Baylor, your daily podcast on the Baylor Bears. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Bears fans. Welcome to the post-game show. Baylor football losing to Utah. The game has not hit zeros yet, but it might as well have. Utah has hung 55 points on the Baylor Bears, who lose to drop to 5-5. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. You kind of know. You kind of know the drill. It's brought to you by FanDuel. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network, the number one sports podcast network in the world. Embarrassing is a word I don't like to throw around much with college athletics, but this was an embarrassing night for Baylor. And I know a lot of us who have been Bears fans for more than a couple of years here, we have plenty that we could choose from. You know, each era is kind of defined by embarrassing moments. This just feels like a low. I know it's not an all-time low. I know that. I know it's not a low of the last decade necessarily. But it's the low point of this decade. I mean, how much longer do you let this go on? How do you let this go on? Utah's a good football team. Don't get me wrong. But you're at home coming off a bye, and you couldn't hold them under half 100. You couldn't do that. It's just new levels of embarrassing, man. And I think Aaron Murray and Lowell Galindo, who were on the broadcast this game, actually set the table pretty perfectly in the fourth quarter. After Baylor cuts a fourth quarter lead to 21 points, your receiver is talking crap to their defensive back, chirping him. Have some shame, man. Can we have some shame? And it leads to a fight, which, by the way, I know Utah throws the first punch there, but that's a fight started by Baylor in a game where you're down 21 points. What are we doing? And the broadcasters are talking about it, like setting the context. Here's a team that had all kinds of expectations coming into this year. Like, could have been I don't want to say it worse, but could have been an 8-9 win team pretty easily with the talent they had coming back. And here they are, about to go to 5-5. Utah is absolutely pummeling them into submission on their home field. The AD takes a leave of absence under a second investigation on the year. The coach should have been fired 2 years ago. There is complete fan apathy. The place is half empty. And when we do finally get some fans into it, they do the tarps off in the upper deck, we've got old people saying, why are all these people here? And getting other fans kicked out. Like, is this what Baylor football is? Is this what it has to be? Because a couple years ago, it didn't have to be that. This is just all bad. Man, there's nothing good coming out of this. And what sucks is there are some good players on this team, and there are some good people on this team. There's some good people on this coaching staff. And yet here, this is how it has to be. It needs to be like this, apparently. We just can't have nice things. 55 points. You gave up 55 points when a team's starting quarterback threw for 80 freaking yards, man. 80 yards. And that team hung 55 on you. I know there was a pick six. I know there's some short fields, but give me a break. Not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns of over 60 yards against you. Bird Ficklin, Utah's backup quarterback, scored 2 touchdowns before I even realized he was a lefty because they didn't need to throw. This is one of the biggest messes in college football right now. And people on the outside won't say that because they're not 2-10. But this is downright embarrassing. It's so embarrassing, man. And I posed the question during the week, can an interim AD or 2 interim ADs fire a head football coach? We should be finding out soon. Because again, how many examples of this do you need? That's what my question is with Baylor football in total. Like, how much of this crap do you need to see before you say this is, you know what, we can't have this anymore? How many losing seasons? How many embarrassing press conferences? How many home games where the stadium's half full? How much of it? Are we reaching the breaking point? Because clearly this fan base reached the breaking point years ago. Years ago. The Baylor administration are the only people associated with this university and this football program that don't want to fire the head coach. They're the only ones. The fans do. The former players do. The media analysts nationally thinking, how the hell does this guy still have a job? There might be 4 or 5 people on the entire planet Earth that don't want Dave Aranda fired or don't work for him. And they just all happen to be the people that hire this guy. How much more of this do we need to take, man? Like how much worse does it need to get, I guess? Because in his time here, you've had a 2-win season, a 3-win season, another losing season on top of that, and this very well could be another losing season. You might not even need to get to a bowl game for this to be a losing season. They're not going to be favored in either of their 2 games. Arizona, the team you play next week, they went up to Cincinnati and beat them on the road, a ranked team. You think you're going to beat Arizona next week? I thought this number was crazy at plus 10.5 today. Vegas always wins. Man, it could have been a 25-point spread. Baylor would not have covered it. I just don't know how much worse it needs to get. There's no control over this football program right now. None. I mean, literally. Your AD's gone right now. Your head coach should have been gone 2 years ago. And you're starting fights in the end zone when you're down by 21 points because you're talking crap to them. Is this Baylor administration just okay with being embarrassed? Not bad, not underachieving, not just those things, but like completely embarrassed, man. Have some shame. 55-28 on your home field. I just, how do you justify it? How do you justify it? Like this is becoming a therapy session every week on these post-game shows. I just can't make any sense of it. I've been around Baylor a while now. The standard used to be better than this. It just did. It just did. And there's no reason to have a standard higher. There's no reason to not have a standard higher than this. Let's go through some of the numbers about it, I guess. Let's do it next on Locked On Baylor. But first, how about this word from FanDuel? NBA's back. No better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel's giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So if you want to win some money and bet against the Baylor Bears, this is for you. New customers, $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Of course, the post-game show where I'm not paying as much attention to the comment section is the one where I have the wrong rundown up for the whole first 10-minute rant after this loss to Utah. I just I got this is not, before we get into the box score, this has nothing to do with the game on the field tonight, but I think it was cool in the second quarter when the tarps off thing starts happening. You know, I get frustrated when Texas Tech does it because they're a really good team. They don't need to be doing that. We are bad enough for that to happen, and that's when it happens. And it was really cool. You know, everyone in the stadium, the media people that were there in the press box were saying like, hey, this was like a legitimate lift. Like, it was cool. For a couple of minutes, they got way into it. You know, it started a movement. It was very organic, and Baylor scored that touchdown right before the half to Josh Cameron, and the place is going nuts. And then I get a text from a friend who was at the game who kind of went in there before it all happened. And then all of a sudden the tarps off thing starts happening around them. And he was like, this was so cool. Like, this is a really cool thing. And then the old people behind me wearing blue and black to a whiteout were complaining about it, that their section wasn't quiet anymore. And this friend told them, there's plenty of other good seats you can go to now. And those people had those guys kicked out of the section. So when we talk about a fan atmosphere and all the things that need to go into it, we can draw the line at this. Baylor doesn't have a good atmosphere because Baylor doesn't want a good atmosphere. That is Baylor fans saying, we don't want that. The students are getting way into it, man. They're actually bringing some energy into this place, and the fans around them say, we don't want that. This program is unrecognizable from even a couple years ago. Completely unrecognizable. From the on-field to the coaching staff to the fans to the administration. It's just all the way bad. It is so all the way bad. To the point where they're dropping 55 on you, and they've got offensive linemen pissing in your end zone. But watch. Monday, there will be a press conference at 11 a.m. Central Time. And the head coach of the Baylor Bears will take the podium, and we'll be asking questions to Dave Aranda. Because we are okay with this. We are completely okay with this. 380 rushing yards. You thought Auburn was bad at 307. How about 380 on you? Bird Ficklin, their backup quarterback, comes in there and runs for 166 yards. Shout out to Josh Cameron, man. What a player. Maybe a career, but statistically his best career game. And it looked like it too. He was unstoppable. They had nothing for him. And it's almost like it's a microcosm of Baylor's season. Like, here's the one who has always been dependable his whole career here, former walk-on, wanted to be here, wanted to stay here, got some pretty enticing offers, by the way, in the offseason. Like, if he had taken one of them, could have been marching towards a college football playoff spot right now, but wanted to stay at Baylor. 13 catches for 165 and 2 touchdowns. A monster in this game. Bryson Washington had himself a good game. Looked like Bryson Washington of last year, 14 for 97. Sawyer, God love him, it was a bad game. And he threw for 430 and 3 touchdowns. But once again, he hit a couple late to bring his completion percentage to 50% on the game. Threw it 58 times. His opposite number threw it 13 times. And he threw a couple of picks. One of them was a pick 6. It was just a disaster all the way around for this Baylor team. A disaster. 380 yards on the ground for Utah. Give me a break. Oh, and by the way, it took till the fourth quarter, points number to get to 49 points was the first time Utah was in Baylor's red zone. They had 42 points on the board before they did that. They had 49 points on the board before they completed a pass to a wide receiver. Think about that. Your team, Dave Aranda's defense, this genius, his defense gave up 7 damn touchdowns before they gave up a completion to a wide receiver. Utah did not need that position group to get in the end zone 7 times. Like, what is the breaking point? I know I've asked that so many times in this postgame, but someone tell me, what is the breaking point? When do we say this is enough? We can't do this anymore. This is not good. This is not what we want our program to be. Each week they tell you, yes, we are okay with our program being this. Did I think Baylor was going to win this game? No, not really. But could you keep them under 50 points? Could you be within 4 touchdowns when you have 560 yards of offense? Guys, I'm running out of answers. I am completely running out of answers. Oh. And I know so many of you are so frustrated too. And I know all of you in the comments basically have called for Dave's job so many times that I know it's agonizing and it's tiring and it's exhausting for you just the same as it is for me. Because we love this school, we love this program, and we know this program can be better than this. It's tough to be worse than this. But we've seen it. Like, not that long ago. It wasn't a one-off thing 10, 15 years ago. It wasn't. And oh, by the way, like, the conference is not as good as it was even 4 years ago. As much as we hate saying it, like, it's competitive, it's fun. I love this conference. But it is not as tough to win as it was 5 years ago. There is no Oklahoma winning 6 Big 12 championships in a row. There isn't that. And we've just said, no, you know what? We're good. We're good with being that. It's agonizing. It is agonizing. And, you know, there's all this discourse on social media and stuff for these fans who don't show up anymore because of Dave Aranda, because of this team. And, like, I've said it plenty of times on this show, I am absolutely of the belief of go and support. It's your alma mater. Like, that doesn't change. But it's like, man, how can I be mad at people who say they don't want to go and watch this? Like, you know, like, how can you blame them? How can you blame them? I don't think Dave does get fired tomorrow. I'm seeing it a lot in the comments. I don't. I think at best he gets fired after the season. But as Pete Souza and I talked about yesterday on yesterday's show, like, this whole Mac Rhodes thing throws a complete wrench in it. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear it. I know it because I don't like to hear it either. I don't like to say it. But, like, if this Mac situation gets worse and there's worse stories out there and they have to fire him, you know what the discussion is going to be with the football program? Dave's not going to get us into a scandal. Dave's a good, upstanding, God-fearing man. He is not going to get us into a scandal. And he's going to have 2 good recruiting classes coming in the next 2 years. Run it back. There is a high likelihood of that happening. I know. I don't like it either. I don't want that to be true. But that's how it feels. And I saw this comment, and I think a lot, I thought about kind of talking about this. Utah wouldn't have run up the score if they weren't playing for a bid in the college football playoff. That's right. And, like, I don't know, they weren't chucking the ball deep. This was not like, hey, we're going to embarrass these guys. I mean, that was a team playing hard. You got to stop them. Like, I'm not throwing any kind of running up the score allegations on Utah. I think the dog peeing thing was a little classless, but I mean, Baylor started a fight. Both teams looked classless tonight. You know what I mean? Like, genuinely. But yeah, they had their backups in the game. They ran the ball. You got to stop them at some point. And then Sawyer Robertson's out there in the last drive. Lord only knows why. They're down 27 points. They're really not playing with any haste at all. So why is the starting quarterback out there? It all sucks. It all sucks right now. And I wouldn't bet on them the next 2 games. I would love to be wrong. I would love for them to win. I like bowl games, especially for this show. I like another couple of weeks of content talking about bowl games. But this is going to be a scratch and claw job to get to a bowl game at this point. I could not have believed you if you said that was going to be the case 2.5 months ago. I just couldn't have believed you. But here we are. Utah 55, Baylor 28. The lowest point of the decade, in my opinion, which is lower than 3-9 and keeping your coach. Because we all knew better 2 years ago. We all did. We kind of went with it. But I think we were all in the same boat 2 years ago that this was over, that this was done, except for the administration at Baylor, who gambled, and their gamble has failed spectacularly. Spectacularly. And we're at the lowest point of the 2020s for Baylor football. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I really appreciate all those of you tuning in live and after the fact. Of course, you guys are the heartbeat of this show. You're the reason why it is the #1 Baylor football show on YouTube, part of the #1 sports podcast network in the world. Thank you guys so much for making it your first listen today and every day. Please give me all your thoughts in the comment section below, because we'll be talking a lot more about this on Monday, unless we have to break in with breaking news on Sunday. We will see you whenever that next show is. Your favorite show, Locked On Baylor.